one D&D, Satan's game. The part where it's like you can only see darkness. I'm casting magic missile. So you can only see darkness. I'm casting it at the darkness.
Technically, magic missile doesn't need a target.
No, it's like I cast magic missile into the darkness. That one. And then, like, in the other room, there's this guy. He's like, "Am I at the bar?" The DM's like, "Yeah." "Are there women there?" "Why do you care?" "Because if there are women there, I want to do them." Like in the other room, like, oh god. And then there's like the argument, like the D&D argument. It's like, you can't have them sneak up on me. I had Morden's faithful watchdog. It's like, no, you didn't. You don't have the components for it. Yes, I do. I have SU materials. I can cast Morden's special watchdog.
Anyway, further down the river.
Just keep going with the whole movie, man. I want to hear all of it.
So, one of the things that I should have mentioned last time, the endurance training we did, yes, we did one iteration of it, but that was actually supposed to represent like weeks of training, and rather than run you through the stupid running thing over and over and over again, we just have it represent that time. So during that week, you would have had off time. So if you guys want to just like explore Sylvanost, and we'll say that it was that couple of weeks of time, we can do that now.
In those couple of weeks of time, I put on my absolute best seduction face, and I tried to strike up an alliance with the mute women.
You don't even need to roll to know that failed.
I rolled to appraise. I rolled to appraise my good looks. I rolled a nat 20. I was told I look like hell, but that doesn't mean I can't disguise myself to look better. And by the way, we have an alchemist here who can make me look better.
We do. Or we have an alchemist here who can make himself look better.
You wouldn't dare.
Or we don't have to make ourselves look better. We just have to become friends with them. Naturally. We have weeks.
I don't know.
We have weeks. We don't need to
think
seduce
seduction
them.
is the way to go.
Seduction and subterfuge is the way to go here, I think.
I like this guy. He's making a lot of sense now.
If we're honest with them. Actually,
I
don't care about honesty. I'm just lazy. That's really what it comes down to. Like,
you don't want to make the master plan.
Exactly.
You don't want to be like Yagami.
All this work. And what's it gonna
What are those two little things by the stables? Are this the guards?
Yeah, it's just represent guards that are hanging out there.
There's only 2 guards in this whole city?
Yes.
This just
Both of them hate me.
Take them
What's
down.
the keep?
That seems like a good idea.
Ah, the keep. Are you going inside the keep?
Well, I'm gonna go and... Are there doors to the keep? Are they open? Like, these are questions I don't understand.
I'm gonna perceive the courtyard.
Okay. So the courtyard is just a large sort of like cobblestone open area. There's not really any like plant life or anything. It's just looks like a place where they probably welcome caravans from deeper in Lacia and like just sort of give them a welcoming party and take them into the keep. It doesn't look like anything much else goes on here other than maybe like staging, like staging things for like political dignitaries if there was a need to show off the might of the military. But the keep itself does have doors here, and then there's a couple staircases / towers that are there and there.
Are the doors to the keep open?
Yeah, I mean they're closed, but they're not locked.
Well, I mean, I was wondering if they were open, because they're open, it's like welcoming, you should come right in.
You can go deep. I have no problem with that.
Where are the doors?
The middle 2 squares. I'll just draw it.
I go here and I walk through the wall.
Well, I ask for a tour of the keep.
Oh, a tour.
I go with you.
I want a tour.
Okay.
A tour.
Oh man, I wish I had a token for the little gnome guy. Oh well.
I'd like to follow. I'm gonna join you guys.
More the merrier on the tour.
On the tour? Why did you get Jewish?
More the merrier. I don't know. I just
It's
It
his
just
He's
happened.
not a Jew
Jewish
from
mother
Long Island.
voice.
I don't know.
That's not my Jewish mother voice. Jewish mother voice is very distinct.
The fucking Mort voice. Oh my god, you ran right into me.
So anyway, the first floor of the keep isn't anything super special. There's a pretty long hallway and pillars every few feet, and ordinarily you'd expect to see like a throne at the end of such a hallway, but obviously Lacia is not a dictatorship or any kind of monarchy, so there's actually just a large sort of circular but more oval table at the end of the hall, and there's a few what look like they might be politicians just chilling at the table talking about stuff that's probably over your head a little bit.
You're saying we're stupid?
I was literally about to press my button and say that.
No.
Yes
but-
is a perfectly acceptable answer.
Politically ignorant, how about that?
Okay.
Hmm.
Reasonable.
I'll
Reasonable to
take
say.
it.
We're like late teens, 20s, right?
Yeah, your
Mhm.
early 20s.
Yeah.
Also,
so
we barely know anything. We don't even know what race we are yet, so I
Yeah.
think it's fair to say we wouldn't really know much.
I mean,
about
you're
anything else
early
either.
20s, but you haven't been alive that long.
Right. We're technically like we're like physically we're in our early 20s, but in every other way we're like 3 years old.
Closer to 8.
Well, whatever. We're stupid. Is
Yeah.
my point. Very uninformed.
Okay, well, is there any way to get to the second floor? You had mentioned that this was the first
Yes. If you go away from the center aisle, there is stairs against the walls over here. But you have to not go through the doors that lead into the bathhouses.
I walk up to the stairs, and I walk up the stairs.
Okay. There's actually stairs that
That's the
go
sound
up
of me on
and
a penis stair.
down.
Up. Let's go up.
Okay, so the stairs that go up, you're now on a floor, and there's windows. You're now on a floor in which there are like large, like bay windows in front of you, and you can see a balcony that goes out over the bathhouses and the dining halls, and you can just sort of see out over all of Sylvanas, the barracks, the yard,
Okay.
and all of that shit.
Very
For the
important
bird-eye
question.
view.
Can I see into the bathhouse?
No, because the bathhouse is underneath the
Peepin' Tom.
underneath the platform.
Motherfucker.
I'm gonna point out that
The
they're
patio.
like Roman-style bathhouses, so it's not like they're like gender specific or
I know.
Yeah.
I jerked
animalistic.
off
Like
in
if
one
you
earlier.
if you want to check out the people in the bathhouse, you literally just have to go to the bathhouse.
Uh-huh.
Ryan excuses himself to the restroom.
I'm gonna say, I'm making it a personal mission for Psycho Mara to masturbate in every city and town that we come across.
Oh my gosh.
So far, he's 2 for 2.
It's a dream. So, Dolph, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Your Steam username is IUnpause.
Yep.
Creeper activate.
His real name is Ryan 3.
Yep.
That joke's still funny, even though Ryan 2 isn't around anymore.
How do you know who Ryan 2 is?
We played Dota with him. Remember, we ran across that random
Did you?
guy named Ryan.
Wait,
Oh, that was not Ryan.
well, there's Ryan
No.
3, isn't that you?
Yeah.
I'm Ryan
Ryan?
3.
See, there's
You're
we
Ryan
always had
2.
2 Ryans
Who's
in our
on
Dota
pause?
group, and then we came across this random guy who was named Ryan in Dota.
That's actually not how.
Why?
Really?
How I
Yeah.
named Ryan 3. Yeah, Ryan 3 is from this group of guys that I played Dota with.
That's
Brandon.
actually how we found out that guy's name
Gavin,
was Ryan, is
Kevin.
because Ryan's name was Ryan 3.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's just a
Well, I'm
whole
Ryan 'cause that's the
Ryanception.
name, and I'm the best one of all
Yeah.
of them. So,
My name's Ryan Smith. I literally have like I'm pretty sure the most common name that I could have for somebody that was like born the year I was born. Super common. Anyway.
Yep.
On to Pathfinder.
Yep.
What else do we see up here?
So the hallway you're in has the big bay windows, and then there's sort of a larger room to your right that has several doors every few feet in the hallway that has the bay windows, so on the outside, and then all those doors go into the same large room, and it's basically just looks like a big, maybe a military planning room. There's just sort of tables and papers and maps everywhere and people talking.
Can we investigate and like browse the tables and maps and stuff?
Absolutely, you can.
Doing
Is
it.
that like rolling perception?
Yep.
Can I take a 20? Like, we have a week.
Why am I in here? I'm trying to seduce the mute women.
Maybe you're trying to get them in here too.
Nah,
Seduce
man,
You
them.
I'm
take a
trying.
20?
I'm gonna basically spend these next 2 weeks trying to strike up an alliance between two possibly extremely powerful wizards because I know information that they might want.
Let's think about that one. So when you guys look around, there is a lot of maps drawn of places that you do recognize, but there's many more places that you don't. And you think that the places that you don't are probably within Etheria because you don't really recognize the roads or anything from what your parents would have showed you. Granted, your parents and you all lived in sort of like the East Watch area, and your maps wouldn't have been much more extensive than the areas that they were guarding. So, but you do,
Eastwatch.
yeah,
Eastwatch by the sea.
the Marin family is the Warden of the East, actually.
Pretty sure that's the Umbers.
I thought that was us.
I'm making a
The
joke.
Mares.
Eastwatch is the name
Game
of
of
the
Thrones.
town in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Oh,
Go
the
ahead.
Eastwatch.
Continue.
it's a castle on the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's unoccupied now. I don't remember. Anyways,
Not now. Well, in the books or the movies or the show.
okay. And you find there's a few like cartographers in here that are drawing up maps for people while they're talking.
That's cool. Should we get a map of our own?
I think we should. And we should get a map of wherever it is that we're going to.
Which is
Let's
where?
ask for.
Where
let's
are you
show them
going?
our map
We are
and be
How
like,
going.
about-
hey, can you help us fill any gaps in and maybe give us other maps from around here?
Perhaps anything based on Raven Hill.
Well, if
Ooh, that's
anything,
a
I
pretty
kind of want to go
map.
to Thorold just because I have a stone that needs to go to Thorold.
How
You have a
expensive are
stone
they?
that can last forever.
Wait, so where are we at?
On the
Still
map?
announced.
Do
Yeah,
they
you're on the
appraise the
Sylvan Nest.
maps? Someone should appraise them, right?
Dude, do you even have to ask? Obviously, you damn it.
Mm.
So you approach one of the cartographers and you ask him if you can like have your map added to or have a new one. And he takes it from you and goes, "Oh, this is an Eastwatch map. I can definitely expand this for you." And he just starts doodling on it.
Is it free? Is it like 5-finger discount?
He sort of
didn't ask
glances
for
up at
money.
you. He sort of glances up at you and like just looks at you strangely and then keeps drawing. And he goes, "It wouldn't cost you any money. You're new here, aren't you?"
Yeah. Oh, thank you, sir.
Also, in general, you
That's
don't want
nice.
to ask people if they're gonna charge you because then they might.
Ah, good point.
Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, what if he just did it and then he was like, "All right, that'll be $100," and we're just
Yeah.
like, "I don't want to do that." So I feel like
$100
go either
hairs.
way.
So
$100. That's a new
after
currency.
he draws on your map for a little bit, you see this.
Sweet. Thank you.
Nebraska? I'm kidding. That looks awesome.
Oh, what the? Oh, there we go.
Excellent.
Everything
I like
suddenly
this map.
grew.
I see rivers on this map. Oh, this is beautiful.
See mountains. Now I see nothing.
Etheria, the Holy Empire. Can I ask him to put the holy thing in quotes? You know, as a joke. I'm sure he'll get a giggle.
I actually can't change that, but we could draw it. Do you want to draw it? You could draw it. It's your map. There you go. And I'll actually get this uploaded to an inventory item for you guys, so you can just glance at it later without me having to move what page you're on. But you actually can see
So-
the capital city now of Lacia.
What's the capital of Lacia?
Naraka? Or Aaron?
Down in them lowlands.
Why are the Whispering Cliffs called the Whispering Cliffs?
Probably because the
They
wind
have
goes through
secrets.
them.
I don't
Nonsense,
get it.
they're alive. And by the way, Lowland.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So you guys might be thinking now about like probably where you want to head next after you finish your training here. I
have a
assume that's what
question.
you're discussing once you have a new map.
So, I have a question, which is, why do they bring us here to train us, but not actually make us serve in the military?
They want it all voluntary, right?
Well, essentially you're all mercenaries. They'll tell you,
Mercenaries.
yeah, basically the entire Lacian military is based off of like guerrilla warfare. They will expect all citizens to show up to be trained in combat, but you're not expected to
Mhm.
serve. They realize that if you don't serve, that the country will fall apart, and everyone just sort of has this knowledge that they should pitch in.
Patriotism.
I've heard of that.
If
Okay.
everyone's a soldier, it's harder to take a fucking country. Civilians always outnumber soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
And they started doing that tactic a long time ago because Etheria is so much larger and has so much more military force that it became unreasonable to try to have a standing army to compete with their standing army. So they relied on subterfuge and lots and lots and lots of guerrilla warfare.
Well, like, yeah, no, like, look at the Yom Kippur War, the Arab-Israeli Yom Kippur War. Like, every male citizen in, I believe it's Iran, or I think it's Iran, is technically considered a militiaman. And like, if they're
Well,
if they
America
get
was that way
invaded,
too in the beginning.
Minutemen.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but like, no, that still stands now though. Like with the Yom Kippur War, literally everyone was activated, and they rolled out, man. It's fucking crazy.
Probably thinking of Palestine, maybe. Seems like it makes more sense. Anyway, should we go to Blifor on our way to Raven Hill because we have an objective there?
Wait, what? What's
Is
Raven?
that for a new
What do we have in
friend, Ray?
Ravenhill?
I thought we had something to do in Raven Hill. Don't we have something to do in Raven Hill?
You have some story elements
have
and
a-
some knowledge of Ravenhill, but you don't really know what to do there.
Oh. So we don't have a reason to go there.
be
Unless you
cool.
want to satisfy your own curiosity. You could always try to seek out like the general or somebody and try to get like, I don't know, missions?
Heading.
Hmm.
Well, that's the thing.
What
like,
about our new
I
friend?
have zero
Didn't
allegiance to my country.
Even
Yeah,
though
but
your
we're
country is
mercenaries, we
entirely
could get
based off
rewards.
worship of Nethys.
We could get rewards, though. Walker.
Think of the fat loot.
Yeah,
Fat
so like
loot.
basically you guys would just have to convince me to go wherever you guys choose to go. But like I'm apathetic is what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna tote your ass around. We don't need any dead weight on these missions.
I'll basically follow you where you go is what I'm saying. But
If we go, you're coming. We're the only people you
Yeah.
know in the world.
that's
Wait,
true.
who's
which is why
who's
I'm
your
fo-
sibling? Is Bruno
We're
your
the
sibling?
only people who know that people used to
Brumo.
love you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
People that
I'm gonna
used
point
to
out
love.
that I have made more friends than everyone combined. Granted,
You've
they're all
made
They're
friends
animals.
with
animals and bugs. One of them whom you murdered.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Actually,
if
I did
that's
not
what you
murder
do
him.
with your
Murdered him.
friends,
I
I,
did
don't
not
know if
murder
I
him.
want to pretend to be your friend anymore.
You know what? I think you need to convince me to let you come along.
And I think I
this
want
point-
monetary gains.
Shoes on the other foot. Let's go talk to the generals. All right, I'm gonna convince you.
Okay,
what
convinced.
about
Dude,
the new
fat
friend? That
loots.
mermaid
Okay,
water
fat loots, I'm
person.
in.
Wait, hold on.
I reappraise our friendship.
Reappraise our friendship.
Oh yeah, I think I'm safe.
Not worth very much. All right, wait. How?
He's not sure how much it's worth, actually.
He's not sure how much it's worth.
There we go. Dude, fat fucking loots, man. Purples.
I
Couple
assist with
purples.
the telling of the fat
Putting them
loot.
hip.
I'm in for purple.
I assist with the fat loot telling.
See, there we go. Purples.
That helps
This
with
motherfucker's
assist.
talking about legendaries.
We
in
need
the
to work
hills.
on you
Let's
guys'
go
role
to
play
General.
a little bit.
This is how I talk.
Purples. That's just. Wait, we never went downstairs.
4 strength.
But
4
is the general
damage,
upstairs
or
leather
downstairs?
belt.
This is actually the
General.
general.
There's a general.
Oh,
What
there
about?
he is.
Okay, guys, what about our friend that we got, or the water friend? Don't we have to? Isn't that a mission in itself?
Yes, but we have to find her friends.
And you have to
okay.
determine whether or not you want the military to know about her.
I don't want the military to know about her.
Don't even mention anything about it.
Yeah.
You can sense fear.
So you approach the general, or what you assume is the general, because he's got some pretty sweet garb.
He's got
Says
some
I am the
purples.
general. Pauldron's the size of footballs.
Oh, I don't have his character sheet in here yet. I'll just pull it out of the library, his picture. Oh, never mind, it's not uploaded. Okay, that'd be why.
The
Well, here's
faceless general.
Here's a closer look anyway.
Ooh.
He's a bit scarred up.
Yeah, he's kind of badass.
Oh, you got fucked
Hmm.
up.
I feel it tingling deep in my wiener.
Oh my.
Oh boy. So he's got like a big map that looks pretty similar to the one you have, but it includes the islands to the west of Lacia. It includes much more of the Aetherian countryside.
I attempt to snatch it from his hand.
It's not in his
Okay.
hands.
He will kill me.
It's a giant table.
So you fail.
This is when I will fail.
So you just like grab it with 2 fucking arms and just start dragging it away.
Yeah, like try to like snatch it from between like the table and run off.
Need a nat 100 for that.
Fuck it!
That's not even
Uh-oh,
the right
it
roll.
froze. That sense motive. Sure is. God damn
Sense
it,
the
it froze.
table's motive.
Is it a good map? Can we trust this map?
Okay. I
So,
approach the
I'm
general.
gonna move you back
oh.
to the world map real quick. And one of the things you notice, let me make sure that I'm quoting this correctly. He has a couple markers on there that look like Aetherian, like they represent Aetherian forces inside of Lacian borders. So let me open up my story document real quick because I'm pretty sure I have that marked. I assume that someone's just gonna like jot down where those are because you probably care.
Nose goes.
I've never been the best note taker.
I will draw on Tom the map. Who got rid of Tom the map? I named the map.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
He drew
But
on the
I'll
top
do
of
it.
it. I deleted it because I'm an asshole.
But I mean,
tried to
it's our
cover it
map.
up, so it would have been hidden anyway.
But it's our map. It needs a name.
Shall we name it then?
I wanted to name it Tom.
I think Tom is a good name. Tomap.
Tom map.
Yeah.
Thomap.
Isn't
Okay,
Tom like the GPS?
so as you approach the table, you can hear the general talking about how Aetherian forces are probably about 3 or 4 days from getting to Thorold.
What does that mean? Oh.
And that he presumes Lyra and Aerith have fallen. And that Aetheria will likely be to Shorisha within the week as well. But that their defenses are better than Thorold's because Thorold has a lot of pacifists.
So who's all down? As in down, as in conquered and destroyed?
Your hometowns are likely conquered.
Ah.
So I'm concerned about that priest dude who said he was going to teach me necromancy and then just never fucking did it. That would be one thing, but I don't want him to die either. But on the other hand, he didn't fulfill his end of the bargain, so fuck that guy.
What on earth are all
Exactly.
these scribbles?
I have no
My
idea.
awful
Do
handwriting combined.
Parents,
Days.
dead parents.
Dead parents.
We don't know if our parents
You
are
don't.
dead. We
Parents.
You
just
don't
think
know
the
that
town's
though.
Conquered.
You just know that
The dead-
the towns have fallen.
They could have been smart motherfuckers and fled.
You guys
I
know
believe
that
that's
there's a text tool in the drawing, right?
Yeah, but I want it to be more authentic. Look, I made Thomas look cool.
He looks like a cat.
Those are bullhorns. I'll have you know.
He's
And
got
he is rushing
whiskers.
to the enemy. Those aren't whiskers. That's a sword.
He's got whiskers.
Those aren't whiskers. Look at
Okay.
him. He's riding gloriously into battle against the Etherian forces of holiness.
So it seems to me like we could probably help out maybe with the defense of one of these cities, but probably only one.
Fool. That's his cool. Cool guy.
Cool guy.
Well,
He
I
puts a new
honestly-
he as you finally step up to the table, he puts one last marker on the map.
The mountain regions.
Mm-hmm.
Ravenhill.
so what do we know about Ravenhill again? I forget. That's what we know.
Pecan.
What in God's unholy name?
Ah, yes, I remember now. Sort of vaguely.
Hmm.
The obelisk at Ravenhill was on
thought
the
it was a
wall in
poem.
the crypt, right?
Poem.
Oh no, that was in the hole. You're right. It wasn't.
No
the
one
hole.
respects my art.
Right. One of the things you guys didn't figure out and that your characters don't know trying part of the crypt.
That
Wait,
we,
what?
That we don't what
You
you,
just
you
chopped.
kind of chopped out.
One of the things you don't know, your characters don't know this, but the shrine was actually once part of the crypt. Because it's right there next to it, and it's part of like that third floor that gave way and isn't there anymore.
Wait,
Oh.
Ravenhill is part of the crypt?
Talking about
No, where you
Fioresia?
where you found the secret shrine that had the
Oh,
poem
okay.
and the
I
shrine
wasn't
on the wall.
there for that.
Correct.
I wasn't there for that, but okay. I understand what you're. Because I was about to say, I looked at the map. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Ravenhill is not at the Fioresia crypt. Like, if
They're
that's like,
connected. That's
damn,
a
we
very
went a long
long
way.
connection.
Yeah. That's a big ass catacomb.
Okay. What does that have to do with anything, though? Darp.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'd imagine we could probably make the assumption that since in that cave there were many glowing statues that gave us strange and wonderful powers, and probably made our minds feel a little bit more expanded. And if that's
I
going to be
think
part
we
of
should
it,
go to Ravenhill because there's probably another stone there.
mm-hmm.
For
Are you saying this all in
Mhm.
front of the general, or
No. This
Yes.
is
We're
quietly
whispering
to ourselves.
this.
Well, like, so we've walked up to the table with General, but we haven't announced our presence, so we're quietly talking amongst ourselves. I would imagine that it would be hard to notice
stealthed
us
them all.
since we are in a crowded room with a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
like,
nope,
except
you do
guys.
fine.
Okay.
Awesome.
You do
What
overhear the
argument
general
was it?
saying that they need to prioritize and decide where they're going to send search parties because they're looking for magical artifacts and things that they can use to defend Lacia in the war before Etheria gets there. Because when Etheria gets there, they will take possession of them and probably destroy them.
So which side are
Well-
we on again? Are we
Lacia.
We're
Lacian.
We're
Lacian.
Lacian.
Okay.
So
Seriously? The Holy Empire, they were killing
fighting
people
Lacies.
and shit. They murdered our family.
Ah. Okay.
So
Like, ah.
Here's the
Oh
thing.
yeah, we don't like them.
So we basically have to
right.
pick either Furisha, Thorold, and Ravenhill, I think is what he's saying. Like Ravenhill, I believe would probably have more artifacts, but Thorold is where they all go.
We've been to Furisha, right?
Yeah.
I
We're
mean,
basically done there. Fuck that.
I
Fuck
don't
that
plan
done.
on
It's
going
like
back
right down the
there.
road from Sylvanost. If Sylvanost
Mhm.
can't defend Furisha, that's their own fucking problem.
Yes, I see mom.
Okay. All of us, all right, gang. Let's split up and search for artifacts.
Well, you
And
still
the
have
building
to-
that we're in?
You still have to go through your graduation.
I mean, we're not
When we
done.
graduate, but they're only 4 days away.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay. So is this happening while we're still being trained, or are they 4 days
Should we
away at the end
explain-
of our training?
At the end of your
I mean-
training.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, well, there's nothing we could do anyway.
Oh shit! Hold on, I'm in the room with them in the general, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're
Or are you with
supposed
the
to
ladies?
seduce
Yes. I'm. Well, can we go back to the room? Because I probably should. I probably should do this because I do have something that's probably very important that the general have. I totally almost forgot about it because it's been. I am in the room. Look at that.
Look at
I
that.
walk up to the general after he doesn't have anyone around him and he's just studying his map and announce my presence to him. With
Okay.
a gentle "Excuse me, sir."
He looks up at you and he says, yes.
We during our travels here, we came under attack by possibly an Etherian spy, and when we
Oh, yeah.
well, took care of him, quotes, air quotes, we may or may not have murdered him. He dropped this, and I show him the cipher book and the message that came with it.
Ooh. Look at you.
Good.
Nicely
Nice.
done.
I forgot all about that too. Let me pull that up.
So I also apologize to him and say to him, sorry I didn't bring this up earlier. I honestly almost forgot, as it's been pretty eventful.
Yeah, it is.
I pat my brother on the back. Good job.
I take +6 con damage.
+6
Aw.
what?
What? No.
Knock the wind out of me.
So he takes the book from you, and he sort of just leaves the cipher on the table, and he says, "I've seen this before, or at least something similar. Thank you for bringing this to our attention." And he starts to look over it.
No problem. Can you give me any idea of what it is, or is this top secret hushy stuff?
It looks like these were orders to assassinate you, actually.
Well, I mean, we probably could have figured that much as the guy tried to stab our barbarian.
Wait, whoa. How does he know that we are the people described in what I'm presuming is a vague assassination order? Sorry, this is stupid. What? Surprised.
Well, I don't know. I figured it's an entire book. There's got to be something of use in there.
No, well, the cipher book is just the explanation of how to, like, undo the code.
Oh, so now they have the Enigma code.
Yeah, but they have, what he means is
shit,
like they
son.
have other copies of the cipher book, which is why he isn't using it, because he's so familiar with it at this point.
Oh,
So he can just read their code, basically.
More or less. It takes him a little bit, but it's not as long as it would take, like, you, because you haven't seen the cipher before.
well then, can
Gotcha.
I announce that it's probably safe to say that there's probably other assassination orders probably have come out on other people?
He agrees with you, and he says that basically the assassination order was for anyone fleeing the border cities that was suspected to have been a child of the lake or a child of Yildris, or however you want to
Well,
label
not
them.
much suspicion anymore, if you want.
Yeah. Essentially, the dignitaries before the invasion began were looking for any signs of forbidden magics, things that weren't supposed to be
Taint.
going on. The general has no problem disclosing to you that they're pretty certain the Etherians are behind the reason that the gift of magic has been all but wiped out in Lacia. Nobody's been naturally born with it for a very long time, and there hasn't been anybody really having much success at having non-human children at all, actually.
I agree, stating that they are pretty much assholes. At least the ones we've met. Smitty has moved from
Oh, it's just
heroical
me.
events.
It's my phone.
I was gonna say something else.
Didn't say it.
Oh, I was just trying to remember. He also kind of looks at you and he goes, "No one's told you, have they?"
Told us what?
Oh.
The project that made you.
No, probably not, but I'm gonna have an assumption it has something to do with the fact I'm slowly turning into a bird. Or
Yes.
something
Adorable.
bird-like.
We don't know a whole lot about the origins of the project because we didn't sanction it. It's something that was put into place a very long time ago, and it fell out of our notice until you all came out of the lake, and then we had to act very quickly to hide you.
What, like an emergency plan?
Essentially, the documentation
Plan
that we
B.
have about it, the original council had a bunch of magi and wise men on it, and there was at one point a prophecy, or at least a prediction, that Etheria would pull something like this and try to wipe out magic, because it's been in
Well-
their belief structure for a long time. So there was several groups that tried to create some sort of mass resurrection of ancient heroes or just people who had the gift so that we could bring them back and just sort of reintroduce it. Go ahead.
Recalling the events of the lake, I'm sure he's probably heard these reports, but seeing as we were more or less born from a giant tree-like structure, is it safe to assume the druids had their hand in it?
We suspect that druids had their hand in it, but one of the things that's odd is we have very clear evidence in early history of the druids trying to help, failing, and then being very adamant that they weren't going to contribute anymore because they didn't think that bringing that many people back at the same time was advantageous to the balance.
I'm sure there's someone who was.
And the other thing that's interesting is Druid resurrection tends to put people into new bodies. So
Yeah, rebirth, man.
So the thing that's odd is the people who are resurrected seem to be taking on bodies that are hybrids of new ones, and they're old.
So then it probably is safe to assume there must be some sort of druidic influence, considering the fact that it's another body instead of the same one.
that.
The druid might, Mr. Nature Magic.
He might, but he doesn't have any inherent knowledge of the druids.
Yeah, just because I am a druid doesn't mean I know anything about my culture.
He doesn't
I'm
even
very
really have a concept of like what a druid is.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's too
I
bad.
speak this language
Druids
that nobody else understands, and
druids are-
I have this instinctual knowledge not to share what the language is.
Don't worry, druids are ridiculously fun. One day you'll accidentally turn one of your teammates into a gold dragon like I did. Guarantee it.
All right, let's try to stick into the role play
Yeah.
here and what your characters actually know. I gave you a little more leeway there, but
So sorry, my brain's
So,
not working because I have
Now
a
that
fever.
we've greased up the wheels with the Mr. General here, can I ask him who the hell is Tobias?
Tobias Young?
No, Tobias.
I'm sorry, young
Tobias
man.
is
You're gonna
very
have to be more
handsome.
specific. I have at least 300 of you around my desk every day.
Yeah,
Any
probably
number
not
of which
about
could be
what
named
you overheard.
Tobias.
Okay. Barrack C, there's a man with pale features, has a big black scythe with big black armor, likes to wear a wolf fetish around his neck, calls himself You Don't Need to Know. But his name's Tobias.
You're asking
Also
the
needs to have
general
one.
about Tobias. That's very bold. I like it. He says, "Oh yes, Tobias Ethelwolf."
Ethelwolf?
I say that out loud. I laugh at his name. I giggle at it. That's a funny name.
Right?
I think my lack of charisma demands that I do the same thing.
He just sort of raises his eyebrow at you and he goes, "What do you want to know about him?"
Well, considering the fact that he's been generally a bit of an enigma around our barrack, especially, the whole sneaking off and whatnot, just being generally just closed off to everyone. Doesn't talk to any of us. He's just
Basically
especially after
antisocial.
he's being extremely antisocial, and for being someone who we're probably going to be stuck with for a little bit for this whole training, probably should lighten up the mood, especially after someone's tried to murder us not once but twice. We kind of, have trust issues
Yeah,
at this point.
we're sorry about that, but he's actually under orders not to fraternize too much with his recruits.
With his recruit. So what you're saying is he's our officer?
Sort of. There are a few remaining remnants of the council that set this plan into motion a long time ago, and they finally have come out of the woodwork and started communicating with us. Tobias was assigned by a man you might know as Zyrul to
Sure do.
keep an eye on you.
Keep an eye on us. We haven't seen him this whole time, but
I believe you
recall
would
a
have.
certain-
I believe you would have seen his pet.
okay. I take it that's the
He
wolf.
has a pet.
The wolf you fed
Wait.
jerky to.
I know, but we don't know that that's his pet,
Yep.
so we have to ask. So.
Oh,
Yes, he has a pet wolf.
Huh.
What's the
Pet's
wolf's name?
Jinx, you owe me soda.
You guys.
Ain't no soda here.
Again, we don't know the wolf's name. So.
That's why I'm asking the
Yeah,
general.
that's what we're
Maybe he knows.
asking.
I think he calls him Odin.
Cool name.
Wow,
I like
what
it.
a coincidence!
There's
We
wolf
called
that I
him
named
that
Odin.
too.
That's
We
such
called a
bullshit.
wolf Odin.
We
Great
called
minds
Abel.
think alike.
Great minds must totally think alike.
I thank the general for all of his information, being so honest with us. He could have honestly just lied to us and waved us away, but instead he decided that we probably are actually worth the time to speak to. So
Mhm.
thank you.
I think we could make a good impression on him by saying, dude, if you want, we could actually make your food taste like whatever you want. Special handprint you got for something.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can hook you up.
Mm-hmm. I got some magical words. Some magical gloves.
He
Was it
smiles at
spooky?
you and he says, "I have enough
Mhm.
people trying to buy my favor with magical gimmicks."
Oh, this is no gimmick, good sir.
This is the real
Just, like,
shit.
put on the
I-
top hat and monocle, like the snake oil salesman, but it's just Zuzu's hands coming out from behind a table in gloves.
I asked
The
him if
amazing
he
wonder
knows
gloves.
anything about the two mute ladies that we met earlier.
You can
What's
say
their
quiet.
problem?
Don't
Oh,
know
They
their
have
yes.
a problem.
names. I didn't write down their names, so I forget what they're called.
It was like Quarren and
Don't
Equin.
Well,
Kari
you-
and Erdana.
Oh, Kari and
Unless
Adana.
unless there are more than two mute ladies.
No,
here,
there
he
aren't.
Probably knows who we're talking about.
He knows who you're talking about, and he says that he hesitates to talk too much about people's like pasts and personal lives, but he does mention that they're a special case, and many people think that something went wrong in the process when they were resurrected, and maybe it didn't quite take. Because he already told you guys that
Oh.
you were all
Ah,
you're
okay.
all
Yeah, so
from
they were
resurrection
also
magic of some
resurrected.
sort.
Okay.
Wait, we all were?
Well,
so everybody that's training with
except
us?
Tobias. Except Tobias and possibly Geralt.
Okay.
Or he's from
Yeah, as
another
far as the
resurrection
people
magic
that you
thing.
immediately know, I guess that's true.
So, like, Tobias, we already know he's apparently somehow related to the people who brought us back. Or brought
The
what
people who
used to
set
be
the
us
plans in
back.
motion, at least, or were
Yeah.
aware, or somehow were involved.
I am going to ask Tobias about this. Motherfucker don't scheme behind my back and lie to me.
He is not likely to tell you much, is what the general says.
Doesn't mean I can't nag him for a week.
But as far as Erdana and Kari, the theory right now from the people who have been trying to study what's left of the tree and try to figure out what the hell it was, so maybe they can do it again.
Mom's gone?
The people who have been studying them suspect that maybe they didn't get fully resurrected, or something happened with the souls of the people who were supposed to be brought back, because it seems like they are somehow caught in between. They're like more half and half than you are.
not fully cooked.
Exactly.
There you go. I just pulled an iced tea.
An iced tea.
Yeah, for fucking SVU. Mean
Yeah, I
like
got it.
when you don't quite cook a full egg.
Oh my. So he starts to sense that this might be the end of your conversation, and he says, "Is there anything else I can help you with?"
Aside from possibly giving us a sense of direction, like once we're done here.
You will be assigned missions if you pass graduation tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well,
we'll pass.
that moves up the plans, because we were told nothing. I just thought this hell was going to endure. If my first day of training in the yard is to tell me what I was in for the rest of the time here, I'd just say this was an unending hell.
You're that guy from Full
Trip,
Metal Jacket.
Trip.
Exactly.
God damn it, I can't walk.
He's fucking Gomer Pyle. Could we ask him where he thinks the most crucial place to defend might be? Because we overheard you
Or
talking
at
earlier.
least- Yeah. Or at least our help.
Let's look at the world map.
Haha, Tom's up at the top corner still.
All right, that's fine. He thinks for a minute, and he says that there's been some debate, and we're not actually sure if Etheria is even moving on Ravenhill. But as of late, all of the old stories are starting to have merit, and we're starting to pay more attention to things that would have previously just been like old wives' tales and children's stories.
Can we share with him our known knowledge of Raven Hill from the secret shrine we found in Fuchsia?
Sure.
Fuchsia?
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I'll
that'd be a
tell
good
him
idea
that we
actually.
Found a very interesting poem, and basically, was it a poem? I can't remember.
Yeah, it
'cause I wasn't
was.
actually there.
I can
Yeah,
link
because I
it to
could
you
swear,
actually.
yeah. But like, yeah, we had mention of this shrine that was called Raven Hill, and apparently some powerful force that lies there, or at least
This
the
one?
story of a. By Nethys might, and here entombed, of monsters old and heroes doomed, for prophecy of magic lost, and those reborn at greater cost. We seal it here, our penance paid, to a guarded peace in your trust laid. Yes.
Yep.
That one.
He acknowledges that you found that, and he doesn't seem incredibly surprised, which strikes you as odd. But he says that there was a group that was working alongside whoever set this in motion, and their approach was a little different than trying to go about resurrecting everyone, because essentially their plan was to try to take their own magic and just sort of store it places to be found later and brought back. And unfortunately for a lot of them, this meant taking their own lives.
Wow. Probably wasn't that smart of an idea in retrospect, considering they were the only ones to know where it actually went.
Well, I'll
I mean,
point
if it
out,
could
I mean,
only
you
be
weren't there,
considered,
but I'll
they-
point out that the shrine did bestow magic on someone's weapon.
No, I remember. No, I do remember someone mentioned that Plate Cleaver got a +1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that, like, in retrospect, murdering yourself.
Well, you don't know that this particular shrine was created by somebody who had to kill themselves.
Well, no, but the mention of it actually happening was probably enough to make me go, huh.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember you telling us about Thorold and the pillars.
Aspect pillars, yes.
Please reiterate that, because I can't find it in any of the log stuff.
That's a good point. I don't think I've put that in there as a handout yet.
Is Thorold gonna turn into Atlantis? We just put the stones
No,
for pillars.
no, but there's sort of a creation myth surrounding Thorold that most people believe, at least in your country.
Well, like water, earth, fire. It's so much like the Wind Waker, like shrines.
Yeah, a
For
little
the
bit.
stones, yeah.
There's
For the
there's
stones,
more
yeah.
pillars than that though.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just read this. Well, sort of. The creation myth holds that there was once these things called the aspect pillars, which were great channels of power that the gods used to bring the elements into being and fuse them together. So basically, the idea was that these pillars somehow were either at Thorold or around Thorold, and the gods just like pressed the elements together through them and then made creation. The myth is sometimes told differently. Some places tell the myth as there being pillars of the elements. Some people tell stories about there being pillars to the respective schools of magic, conjuration, divination, and all that. And then others have like 3 pillars, one for the wilds, one for the light, and one for the dark.
Wow. There's probably some very powerful and influential people who want to keep that place safe.
There hasn't ever been any real evidence at Thorold of the myth, though.
Oh, there's undoubtedly someone.
Yeah,
Anyone can believe in anything.
yeah, it's just sort of a story that people tell, and it has just come to be accepted as fact, kind of like the King Arthur stories.
Oh, Arturian legend.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I mean, if we're gonna get missions and apparently graduations tomorrow, I mean, that's pretty much everything I needed to know. I gave him that thing. I don't think I have anything else here to give to him. Nope. Just a
He
lot of
does
gold
mention
from
that
the
at the
assholes.
bottom of the page that you found, there's a cipher that they haven't broken yet, and he'll let you know what it says when they figure it out.
Please do. I'd be happy to know.
Uh,
Intrigue.
Yes.
And besides, that'll give them good clues
Was
as to how to break
Yeah.
it.
I tried to follow along with it, but I didn't really get much of that. I was questioning his interactions. Oh, yeah. No, that was just me being confused as to how I was under the impression that we were like unique. And he was like, "Oh, the assassination attempt is for you." And I was like, "Well, if the assassination instructions were probably fairly vague, how did he know that this was us?" So I was like, "Well, maybe he knows more about us." But
He does,
that
yeah.
was cleared up. Well, that was cleared up. He
Yeah.
knows that everybody here is one of quote unquote us reborn people.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't. He doesn't necessarily know anything specific about us.
Right. He doesn't know
in
your like personal
particular.
lives, but yeah.
Right. I was like, oh, does he know the wolf dude or something? Like, how the fuck would he know that that was about us? But
Mm-hmm.
that's been
I'd imagine
explained.
he's privy to a lot of information, being the general of a major
Yeah.
fort.
He tells you that when
Oh.
you finish graduation tomorrow, and he kind of smiles at saying that because he seems like he might be more confident now after talking to you. That you should probably spend some time in the library and do some research and try to decide where you want to go.
Learn, son.
Where's the library located?
The
here
library
again?
actually happens to be downstairs in the keep.
Ah.
Yay!
I sprint away down the library
Into
stairs.
the corner. There is no stairs there. You hit the corner and pass it.
Oh, he's
Around.
fine. And it doesn't matter to
And
me.
down
It's all ambiguous.
I do
so
have
you-
one more question though,
Sure, what's up?
for the general. It's more or less concerning our hometown. We notice on your map there's a bit of a very ominous thing that has gone past where we lived. What of our families that you may have heard?
Oh, Lyra and Aerith. We're still getting reports of survivors. There's a handful at this point, but we know that the Wardens of the East are fine. They've fled the city when the invasion started, probably knew ahead of time. And we're pretty sure they are in Thorold. If not Thorold, they're farther south, or somewhere in between. As far as other people, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to give me names.
Apparently nobody's a chatty Cathy here today.
Well, me and Psycho
Well,
Mara rushed down
mom's
to the
fine.
library.
We're reading books, man.
Don't care
I
about your
tell them all
parents,
their
apparently.
last names. I tell them
Well,
all
we
their
wouldn't
last
even know when
names.
he asked.
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes through. He doesn't go through. He sort of like looks up and tries to remember. He's like, I'm sorry.
and Rue.
It's been a little while since I looked at the reports, but I think I've heard of survivors of all of those families except Rue.
Probably shouldn't tell the alchemist who has bombs that his parents are dead.
Well,
Hold that
he
information.
doesn't know that they're dead. He just hasn't heard that they're alive.
Not instilling
Still fishy.
confidence.
Still fishy news to tell the alchemist.
I will.
Bombs.
Yeah. Cycle, your parents are dead! I just yell it down the fucking staircase.
No, you don't, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. So the general kind of waves at you and then goes back to his map and just kind of like frowning because he doesn't know what to do.
Oh, I would
Um,
like to shake his hand.
oh, go for it.
What do you want me to roll?
I don't think it's a roll. He shook his hand and walked away.
Damn. Could have made up a secret handshake.
He does mention, though, while Kirik walks away, like kind of off the cuff, to watch out for any strange changes to your body, because there's been a few other people who didn't quite make the cut transformation-wise.
Oh dear.
There's a belief that some of the children of the lake might be a little unstable.
I'm gonna end up like bitch Stewie?
Maybe. But you get to the bottom of the staircase, and there is just sort of a narrow doorway that's pretty dark, but the library opens up outside of that, and there's a pretty confining desk there in front before you can get into the library. And you don't see anyone behind it really, except for like this little like hat that's just sort of sitting there moving.
Well,
A
we walk
moving
up.
hat
We
or
walk up
cat?
to the moving
Hat.
hat and say, "Hello, anyone there?"
The sorting hat.
He so the hat tips up and you see a little gnome's face. He goes, "Oh, hello."
Hello.
Adorable.
We were wondering if we could explore the library during our downtime while we're training.
Yes, that would be fine. What are you looking for?
Nothing in particular. We're just trying to catch up on our knowledge and
Could you
history. Catch up on our knowledge. We're just trying to educate ourselves. We're not very familiar with, the whole world really as it is. So the more we learn, the
That's
better.
fair. You did come out of a lake.
We're basically 8-year-olds, so
Yeah, more or less. I mean, you're more cognizant than that. It's an oversimplification, but
yeah. We've only been around for 8 years, so we would
Yeah.
like to learn about
you haven't had
the
time to absorb a whole lot. That's definitely true. Well, he says, "Help yourself."
What was
Says
that you
what?
cut out?
He says, "Help yourself." Sorry.
Cool. Will we explore the library?
What do I see in the library?
Are you looking for something specific? Because he does have like an organizational system. Or are you just gonna go pick books at random?
We're just looking for the
Give
layout.
me a random book.
Same here.
There is my random book.
Sorry, I had my headset off. What?
Give me a random book.
A
Yeah.
random book. Oh lordy.
What do I look up to?
I don't know. Are you looking up a random book, or are you looking for something specific?
Mm, I have no idea. Maybe
The
more
Life and
I-
Times of
land.
Mr. Hat, a story.
I'm looking
A love
for
story.
alchemy related thing.
There you go, attaboy.
Fuck.
Hmm. You find some texts that describe alchemy, but don't actually have any recipes in them.
Fuck.
Well,
I asked to
in
know.
Psychomera's frustration, I help him look for alchemy-related books.
Are there books about species?
Which
Maybe
didn't
we
do much
can
better.
read more about species. Like
There
humans.
you
and-
go.
Yeah, that's what I rolled for, 17. So I get pretty good.
So you help him look for a book. Hmm. All right, hold on. And what are you looking up, Zuzu?
About species, like human race and
She's trying to understand her weird-looking brother.
exactly. There we go.
Ah, you're researching the Birdman.
Maybe I want to retain my mysterious figure. Maybe an air of mysteriousness is exactly what I need to seduce a couple of blue ladies.
Mysteriousness.
Just
Yeah,
that if you're
It's a
morphing,
word.
it's
I
a
said
good
it.
thing.
It's not.
I said the word, therefore it's a word. It's
You
not a word you
coined it.
recognize, but it's a word. Yeah,
You
see?
coined it.
You
yeah.
heard it here, folks. First time. There you go.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Mysteriousness of Kirkmare.
Let's see if this is on. Now, does the alchemist thing say you can learn anything out of a wizard spellbook, but it has to be also on the alchemist list?
I'd imagine he could like try to find things that mimic
I think
certain
he can
things.
learn wizard spells as long as they're on his class list. I don't think he can make a potion out of anything that's not an alchemist spell.
But like, could he store it in a flask?
Yeah, he
If
can
it said
store
he can-
anything in a potion
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
as long as it's on his spell list. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I actually
So-
redecide my decision to leave and go down into the library. I wanted to ask the gnome something, but after you're done with your thing, then.
Sure. This is going to take forever to try to generate one at random. Let's just open up the alchemist list. And I'll just do a D100 or something. Wonder if that'll work. Can I roll a 26-sided die? Oh, fuck yeah, I can. Oh, yes.
Oh, Jesus H. Christ. I love doing that. I love doing that, though, when, like, I drop an orca on somebody in 3.5. I lengthen spell and drop an orca from, like, 150 feet onto something. And it's just like, 36 D6! Blah!
Well, I'm doing a D26 so that I can pick a letter.
Oh.
Which actually didn't work as well as I thought it would. Oh, fuck it. Let's just count the level ones. $44. Okay, you find recipe for something called invisibility alarm.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Say that again.
Invisibility alarm.
Oh, sweet.
It's an alarm spell that reacts only to invisible creatures, which probably isn't useful right now, but might be later because it would work for like ghosts and stuff.
Yeah. If we're in a spooky, scary skeleton place, you can place it on the ground and just wait till it goes off. And then you
Mhm.
know you're there in presence of a skeleton. And it's in your body.
I have to say I did not see that one coming. Okay, so Xanthem, you gain knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
With that roll, you gain a little bit of insight into the nature of your brother's race. He doesn't look quite the same as the Tengu that you find in the book. He looks like he's some sort of like water bird.
Oh, my brother does?
Yeah, because he's sort of blue, but you don't find
Mm.
any mention of that in the books about Tengu. But you're fairly certain that you've found a visible match.
Cool.
Do you show your brother this, or do you just keep this information to yourself?
I'll show it to him. Hey, here, come
Remember,
over
he
here.
wants to maintain his mysteryness.
Yeah, but
Well,
I thought he.
but he
but
doesn't know what he is, so he doesn't really get that choice.
Is this
Mm.
the is this the picture? Did I find it?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Not humanoid at all.
Yeah, but that's fine. You can have a blue tinge to your feathers.
I'd imagine they would. It's what's
Mhm.
exuding out of my skin.
Yep.
Oh, it's such a pretty bird.
God damn it, don't call me pretty. I'm dark and mysterious and brooding.
I
So
mean,
now that I've helped
handsome.
Psychomera look
That's
up
better.
a book on alchemy, I'm gonna see if I can
Not
figure out
good.
anything about elves.
That's a good plan. Hey!
There you go.
Lamau.
I'm gonna tell you a little story.
Story
That I think you'll like.
time.
So the last known places that the elves were found were in the Whispering Cliffs, which wouldn't be terribly surprising to you. Amdrian is one of the cities that used to be elven, and so is Valvaras and Palanthas. There hasn't been any elves there for quite a while, but they were originally elven cities. No one's really sure where the elves went. They sort of disappeared around the same time as the druids did, though there's more evidence that the elves were probably killed in some sort of mass genocide than there is evidence that the druids were. It seems more like the druids went into hiding and just removed themselves from interacting with the world. Let's see. As far as what you know about elves, you know you have like better than normal vision and like most of the stuff that would be in the D20 guide about elves, if that's fair.
Okay.
Well, I guess more accurately, the elves died off not necessarily from a mass genocide, but that is the accusation. But they were one of the first races to go sterile. They stopped having the ability to have children. Half elves were easily born, but full elves would always be stillborn and just die.
No.
I don't know any.
Nobody knows any. Nobody's ever met an elf. Or nobody knows
Except for
an
you,
elf.
Mr. Pointy Ears.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I for all intents and purposes, I probably would just assume I'm a half elf until I gain knowledge otherwise.
Well,
Just
you did hear the general mention that you're all from Resurrection now, so
Good point. So I
maybe
might
all
assume-
bets are off.
Up until then, I would have assumed that I was a half elf.
Mhm. But that would explain your curiosity into looking up more about elves. one of the big things that you find when you're reading about elves is that they tend to have more distinct pointy ears than half elves, which are a little more rounded and human looking. Also,
Okay,
their
so
all
mine
their
are
flesh is a little more
super
pink.
fucking pointy.
Yeah.
They're what?
Their flesh is a
Then
little more
again, we
pink,
don't-
but that's hard for you
Okay.
to gauge because your flesh is already a blue tinge, so it's weird for you.
Then again, though, you have no other elves really to gauge it against. As far as you know, true elves could stab people with their ears.
Very true. But mine are more pointy than.
I think you could
Twilights,
presume that there'd be
so-
drawings of elves in a book about elves.
He's
I would
smarter than he
assume
ever
that I would
been.
have seen a picture of an elf in this book I found on elves. So this very good book.
Ooh, are
I
there
can
naked
point
ones
out
in there?
is No. Maybe.
Damn.
Possibly. You never know.
Go to the back.
So I am curious about one thing. Like, we all picked our classes. Do we know what our classes are? Like, do I know that I'm a druid or?
I wouldn't say that you necessarily know that you're a druid yet. I would say you know that you have an affinity with nature and plants, and like magic seems to come easily to you.
Okay. So I'm gonna look up books about magic that has to do with nature and see
There
if I
you
can figure
go.
something about druids.
That's a good plan. I like that. So you look through a few books about magic, and you find some that really bore you, that talk about like setting up circles in the correct orientation and having so many degrees from the center and yada yada yada, and summoning demons and planes and all that kind of crap. But you finally come across one that talks about wild magics and how druids sort of pioneered them.
Can the book's name be "I Throw Wolves and So Can You"?
Why not? And from that, you infer that you have a lot of similarities to the druids described in the book. So
Okay.
you probably conclude that you might be one, but I wouldn't say that you're certain.
Okay. Well, this intrigues me to look up information about the druids. One of these days, I'm gonna get a bad roll. I'd be sad.
Wow,
Not so far.
not so far, indeed.
It's really hard with a plus 12 to get a bad roll.
So the druids actually, when you read about them, they were actually divided into a few different belief sets. One of them believed very heavily in maintaining the balance. So they sort of had like a weird mix of like worshiping Nethys, and there's a god of nature that I can't remember that I'll bring in later for that purpose. But essentially, they were like neutral to a fault. Like if evil was like doing things that normal people would be like, hey, that's fucked up, you shouldn't be killing people, the druids might be like, it doesn't really mess with the balance, we don't care. So that group wasn't liked so much for obvious reasons. And then the other groups, there was one that leaned a little more towards the dark arts and necromancy, which is a little odd, but it's a thing. And then the other group sort of had a weird mix of Aetherian belief mixed with affinity to nature. So I guess similar to like kind of how the Tauren get in Warcraft, I guess. Toward the end, when they start talking about the moon goddess being the same as the light.
Okay. So, learning all this about druids, I explain it to my group and be like, hey guys, I think I might be a druid. Granted, I think I'm this first type, one that really doesn't give a shit.
There's a good chance, yeah.
So, now that he's nice and content about throwing wolves, may I ask
Um,
the gnome?
Okay.
Dahl, did you have a question too?
Well, I was gonna say I looked for alchemy shit, but could I try to find like something that's less specific to alchemy, like potions or something like that? Oh wait.
Yeah, sure. Just let me know.
Shit.
Oh no. Let's
Damn it.
Well,
see.
okay, so the worst that can happen is you pick the wrong book off the shelf and realize
It's like
it.
2 books left.
You drop a book on your toe.
That could happen too.
It crits. You die.
Or you could knock over a bookshelf and get us all kicked out of the
Oh
library.
man, let's see.
I'll crush us
Not
all.
not
Talks
one looking for books. What would that?
Yeah.
Up on a ladder.
I get a paper cut to my femoral artery somehow and just bleed out.
No, nothing quite that harsh. Let me think about that one. Let me think about that one. I'll get back to you, and we'll do Carrick's thing.
Okay.
All right. I walk up to see the little hat because I most likely probably came down here after everybody else.
Yeah, that's a good.
And then Zuzu
point.
probably ran up like, "Look, you're a bluebird."
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna lay
I'm like,
eggs and
"Great."
stuff? Can we eat them?
I mean, for sustenance, I probably shouldn't. But I guess if it comes down to it. Oh, sorry. Lost in a moral argument. So, okay, you have a filing system. Oh, yes, that's actually what I meant to say. Sorry, tend to overcomplicate things. So, 2 things. 1, I'm fascinated with dangerous poisons. Can you show me how to cook them? In a book, perhaps? Please do. And while you're looking, do you by any chance have? Because a thought crossed my mind. We were told by the general upstairs that we may have come from obviously a resurrection thing. But what I really wanted to know is, where did we get our first names? Everyone just called us by our first names. So I'm starting to wonder if our names, at least our first ones, are written somewhere down in history, in a book somewhere, like ancient heroes and such.
Well, just meta. I'll tell you that your parents gave you your names.
Oh, okay, our first and last name?
Well, your last name came from your family name, and your first name
yeah.
they gave you.
Damn, never mind then.
And
Dangerous
Meta,
poisons it is.
I'll tell you that your name wouldn't be in the Book of Heroes anyway.
Whoa.
Hey,
What? Sick bird?
I saved someone's life from being stabbed by an axe, bluntly.
By an axe. Who was that? And what?
I don't know, somebody I saw on a crazy vision quest when I touched my blade for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Much like when you...
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were tripping balls yourself.
Actually, you were. You were standing on the cliff throwing bombs.
Yeah. You
I
were up
was?
there laughing maniacally and
Yeah.
bombing people.
No, I mean I wasn't there
Oh, for
Well, I
that
mean, in the
game?
same fight, who knows?
for that fight. Yeah.
That was just
What
in the
was it?
beginning of the
Thing.
game when you acquired your items.
It was a vision.
Oh,
This one.
yeah. I see. Okay.
Like when you touched Hailstorm for the first time. And I touched Night Kiss, and I pull out my blade very slowly and look at it while the gnome stares at me.
So he gets out this great big book from underneath the desk, and he starts flipping through pages.
That's a great big book, sir.
Well, how do you think I file my books? And he keeps flipping through.
Just thought you were super
Oh,
smart.
let's
and knew
see.
them all.
Penguins. No.
I may look like a penguin, sir, but please mind your manners.
Because here we go. Poisons. Yes. And he moves over a couple columns on the very bizarre looking spreadsheet that has just numbers and letters that must make sense to him, but it's no Dewey Decimal System. I'll tell you that.
It works for him. Do him.
He says
you.
he tells you to follow him, and he leads you down a few winding aisles until you sort of lose track of where you're at. And you're in sort of a dark part of the library with lots of cobwebs that your compatriots haven't been to yet.
Huh. So I take it nobody likes poisons.
Well, the library hasn't seen a lot of use in recent years. This is about the first time in history that, like books and stories have had anything to do with war. So we had to gather everything here.
My parents once told me knowledge is power. Are they wrong?
Your parents didn't tell you that. Oh yeah, they did
Oh,
actually.
come on.
They would have. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
the Mayer family.
Spies. That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking the Rue family because all of the study of magic
Bombs.
and everything. But yeah, you find you find some documentation on poisons because he hands it to you.
I say thank you. Because I probably would have gotten a crypt fail and busted down half your poor library if I tried looking myself.
He doesn't know what a crit fail is, and he looks at you oddly.
I say that I probably would have messed up and probably destroyed your library
There
had
we
I
go.
been left to my own devices. So thank you. And I look at the book
What a klutzy brother.
and I fail.
That's not very good.
Jeez.
So Doll, I think what happens with you is you're looking for a book and you like break a shelf. Not like the whole bookshelf, but like one shelf, and all the books go sliding onto the floor.
No.
And as do I hear that?
Yeah, I would say so.
I say kind of like that guy.
Is he still back in that dark corner so the gnome
Yeah.
didn't
Yes.
see me?
Yep.
All right. Well, I think the only thing to do is
Put
use
your head
my
in a bowl.
invisibility potion and get out of there.
All right. Are you looking for a specific poison?
A specific poison? Well, I mean, we've come across multiple living and dead things, but I have the feeling we're going to come across a lot more living people. So basically, just an easily brewable poison that can just kind of incapacitate or muddle someone's, general ability to fight.
Okay.
Like a
Let's
crippling
do it
poison.
this way. Are you looking for something that's inhaled, ingested, or on injury?
Stabbed.
So either contact or
injury.
injury.
Probably just injury. Contact might backfire.
Yeah, and contact tends to be really expensive to make too.
True, it has to be very potent to go straight through the
Yep.
skin. That's what the knife is for. The multiple knives.
You find
So, yeah.
some talk of using pretty simple like snake venoms, black adder, for example, which you can find in the jungles of the lowlands. There's a mention of using giant wasps and the poison in their stingers.
What
Any
about
like
colorful tree
natural
frogs?
herbs and such. So like any like tincture
Poison
of
ivy.
well, not poison ivy. Oh God, could you imagine it in your blood?
That'd suck.
Everything
Ugh.
nature's. No, tincture of hemlock or something. Yeah, that's a bit meta knowledge, obviously, but like certainly there must be a dangerous plant that's fairly common, like nightshade and stuff like that.
Hemlock is one of the ones that's ingested.
Yeah, but I mean, if I stab you in the stomach, it gets ingested whether you like it or not.
That's not really how the game works.
Oh, come on.
I wouldn't know a plant one if I saw it, to be honest with you.
Well, I know nightshade is a fairly common plant. I mean, it's a beautiful plant. It's like a very bright purpley, very
Also, just
bright
want to say,
purpley sort of thing.
if you stab through somebody's stomach lining, I'm pretty sure you don't have to worry about poison at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the acid will do most of the poisoning in sepsis anyway, so
I was just
doesn't
gonna
really
say, like, their stomach acid leaking into their chest cavity is probably going to do the job.
yeah,
Maybe,
that's
well,
why I just make sure.
maybe violet venom? Violet venom? Yeah, violet venom. Wow, that's actually hard to say.
Violet venom.
Yep.
Where's that? Contact. That's a
Violet
contact.
venom?
It's got a save.
Well, they all have saves.
Fort DC 3 cost 800 GP. I mean, violet venom sounds like something colored violet, obviously. so
No, I think
probably-
it actually comes from the there's a plant monster. God damn it, we
Ant
fought one
monster?
before. What the hell was it called?
Well, there's Terraniv root, or the twister root, and striped toadstool. I think that's ingested. That's ingested.
I think it's like, oh man, violet. It's some kind of plant.
Blood
The
leaf
problem
residue.
that you're gonna end up
Violet
finding-
fungus. That's what it is.
Oh, so probably just a weird looking fungus I can find under rocks and stuff.
No, violet fungus is a monster.
Yeah, the thing that you're gonna find is that like any poison that you can use on her blade is gonna have to come from a venomous creature.
Probably, yeah.
Really? I mean, even I mean that's striped toadstool.
I mean, you could do
Sasso,
like
leaf-
Black Lotus, but that's incredibly rare.
Really, like not even because I'm looking at this this one right here, Sassone leaf residue. I mean, it says leaf. Blood leaf.
Okay. That's a contact poison, though. That's not an injury poison.
Yeah.
See,
So
I think
gotta be
I think
extra
all your
careful with it.
plants that are potent enough to be poisonous are probably going to be contact poisons.
Yeah, probably. But like, I don't know. Like, that seems like about the only one that does say specifically like,
Yeah.
because like there's contact, root paste.
So I think when you
Hit
look through
moss
your
and
your book of poisons, you figure out like you see all these names, but not necessarily how to make them, but like probably where you could get them. Is that fair?
Sure, I'll ask what a blood leaf is to the frickin' druid. He might be able to point me in the right direction.
Blood leaf.
Well, the Sassone leaf residue, Sassone apparently means blood leaf.
Yep.
Don't ask me why. Apparently, it means blood leaf.
Let's see if I can
I mean,
find
I don't
anything on
mind.
that.
There's my knowledge of bloodleaf for you.
I'll let you know as soon as I know anything about blood leaf.
I used my diplomacy to cheer him while he thinks. Like, certainly there must be something in your big leafy brain. Use that sexy knowledge. I find it odd, however, that he was completely okay with the fact I said that I was extremely interested in dangerous poisons.
There's a lot of different people here.
I'd imagine so, but damn, man. That was calm as hell.
I really can't
Smitty,
find
you're
any.
broken up, man.
I can't find any description of bloodleaf anywhere. So I guess I'll just bullshit it.
I mean, just by the name, you can probably infer it's a red-leafed or red-tinted leafed plant that probably resides in dark areas like most poisonous plants.
Well, like it's an actual like real life plant, and it is red.
Really?
But I don't know if it's actually poisonous. I know they're ornamental, so like I can't imagine they're supposed to be poisonous. Yeah, I think it's probably we're probably just gonna have to say that it's a poisonous herb. I think that's fair
Okay.
because I don't see anything to indicate that it comes from any kind of creature, and there's no description of the plant that it comes from at all. It's just called bloodleaf residue.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we could find it somewhere. I'll just have him keep an eye out. If he sees any, he can warn me.
In my mind, I'm gonna think that's probably a jungle plant,
Really?
or maybe like thick forest. I wouldn't think it would be like plains or mountains.
Oh no, maybe not mountains or plains, but I'd imagine a thick tempered forest. Like up in New York, we have this shit called hogwort. Dangerous shit, man. It looks like Queen Anne's lace, but if you touch it, it's like poison sarlacc, or not sarlacc. poison sumac, except it grows across the rest of your body, and then you puff up and die.
That's okay. All right then.
Yeah.
So
if
you
see a big
you think that it's
fucking
probably
thing-
more likely, if you're looking for bloodleaf specifically, you think it's probably most likely found somewhere in the lowlands, but possibly also the midlands.
Lowlands away, me John.
Everything seems to be pointing to the forest for some reason. I did not intend that, but that's the way the story's unfolding, and that's fine.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
All right, so Cycle snuck out of the library. The gnome walks over to the collapsed shelf. Goes, "Oh goodness me, not again!" and he struggles with trying to put it back.
I assist him. Please don't make me suck. What do I use?
Strength check.
Oh God, my second worst stat. Oh, it's a single digit.
That's not bad.
Well, I mean, I could turn into a bear and help him.
do
that
that.
seems unwise.
That
Alrighty.
seem unwise. Are people not used to seeing people turn into bears?
I wouldn't say it's a frequent occurrence, no.
Do you think that's wise?
What was your roll for your druid book? Was it that 30?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, son of a bitch. How about we also say that you find mention of at least one man who tried to mix arcane magics with druid magics.
And his name would be...
It doesn't say that, but there's at least one person that's mentioned.
mixing arcane magic and druid magic.
Yeah, and
Does it mention the outcome of this?
It's said that he was banished, and the people who taught him that were killed because they taught him the druidic language, and he wasn't supposed to know.
Oh, so he wasn't a druid, he was someone who used arcane magic and tried to learn druid magic.
Yes.
Okay. That was unclear, but now it's very
Yeah,
clear.
sorry.
I don't know if you've noticed, but you have been completely muffled by I don't know what. Like every time you talk, it's like. Has anyone else been noticing? Oh, yeah, yeah, no, he just talked.
Yeah, I saw it light up, but I can't even hear him. That explains why he's been so quiet.
Mm-hmm. Something's up with his mic. It's very, very quiet.
I think it's because he's using his phone. Something must be going on
Yeah.
there.
Can you hear me at all?
Oh, now.
A little.
Yeah, now we can.
Slightly
I didn't
better.
have the mic close enough to my lips.
Wow, it's super quiet. I wonder if it's just
Why
like
is it so
on
quiet?
and maybe it's on like handheld mode or something. Because I think on phones, like your speaker phone is usually tied to a separate microphone as well. So maybe that's messing up somehow. So anyway, unless we have anything else in the library, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward things to the graduation stuff.
Well, I kind of want to do the diplomacy check on them for a little bit, but before I go,
Okay.
can I at least get his name and thank him?
Oh, the gnome. Yes, you can.
Yes. I'm sure you thought long and hard of this man's name,
Yeah, totally.
but not very tall. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, wow. Thank you, name generator. There you go.
You clip Ebit.
E-butt.
I'm
Yeah.
Ebutt. Ebutt. Oh, that's hilarious. Names are great. Ethel Wolf. I'm out of here.
Do you know what Ethelwolf means in Old English?
I'd imagine Ethelwolf probably means something about a flammable corn-based fuel.
No.
No.
You jerk.
Mixed with wolves. I don't know. So I know wolf is destruction, isn't it?
It means noble
king,
wolf,
right?
actually.
Ah, I'm right, it was a king.
Yep, noble wolf or
That's
wolf
why-
king.
Oh. What's destruction in Old English? Oh, whatever. I don't care anymore.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
It's interesting to me that nobody's directive was to explore the civilian quarter this time.
They're civilians. Who cares?
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
there's a
they
civilian district.
maybe they know shit. I don't know. But anywho,
Oh, on the way out of the library, I ask if I can borrow a pen and pencil, or a couple of them, or a pencil, a couple of pencils, and some paper that he might have lying about.
he
We're
asks
gonna
you
hit up those
why.
ladies, huh?
Well, there's a couple people I plan on passing some romantic notes to.
Oh my god.
Young love, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he provides you with paper and pencils with a smile.
Sweet. Give him a wink and I walk off.
Oh my god.
Did you leave a
weird
note
bird-like
on his
telescopic
desk?
sideways wink? No, I take them. They're in my. and why not a squawk? Why not a squawk?
See, I
I
too have a speech impediment. Love me.
Please, I'm horrifying. Oh, God. I'm not trying to seduce them. I'm just trying to make their lives slightly easier for communication. As a good gesture of people who are going to throw fireballs at the son of a bitch.
Oh man.
Well, something to keep in mind is that we now know that this Tobias guy has been looking out for us and is kind of watching over us.
He's watching over us, but is he
He's
looking
a
out for us?
dick. He's a dick.
I mean,
I
he
hate
has
him.
that
Maybe it's called
detachment.
tough love.
It's called detachment.
Maybe the time that you interacted with him, it was like 4 in the morning and he was tired.
First impressions leave very powerful marks in someone's psyche.
That's
If you're
fair.
a dick to me, I don't care if you're
strongly
sleepy.
insisted to my traveling companions that this guy is the biggest douche in the world.
That's
He
fair.
really did.
And they probably trust your judgment because
And-
you
and
seem
then,
like
like,
the
I
only
walked in
sane
there.
one.
I know, and then I walked in that place, saw
I
him
also
making
didn't I
deals
roll like
with
a
the
nat 20
guards.
on my sense motive on him
Yeah, that's true.
at 3 in the morning, so
All
Your
right.
senses are sharp at 3 in the morning.
So give me diplomacy for the ladies.
Fuck. Damn.
Okay, what are you saying?
Can I get bonuses for good gestures of? Well, first
That's
I
my decision.
fine. I say hello. It's like, so you obviously may or may not have seen me around here, but there's kind of something that I might want to bring to both of your attentions. So I handed them both a pen one a pencil and some paper, split it in half so they can use it. I figure these will help
Okay.
a bit better than
You walk up to them
charcoal
and they're
napkins.
they're playing an odd card game that you don't recognize. It looks like they may have made the cards
Hearthstone.
themselves.
Hearthstone.
Yeah,
I
sure.
sit
Why
down
not?
cross-legged between them.
They're playing Hearthstone between them. Oh my god. All right.
Well, like if they're on both sides of the board, where am I gonna sit? I'm not gonna nudge up to one. I'm neutral. I'm on the corner.
Well, they're on their bed.
Oh, well then I guess I'm sitting at the
on the
side
bunk.
of the bed.
Yeah, that's cool. So you hand them both
Um,
paper, and Urdana just kind of puts the pencil on top of the paper and continues to sit there. But Kari, she's got her pencil picked up and she's looking at you rather intently.
Okay, so I'm sure you've noticed there's someone who is in this barracks with us. Like he's very, very distant. Likes to wear black. Has a bit of an aloof feel to him. I'm sure you've noticed him. He ran with us. Yes. How did you learn his name? Well, I mean, you have been here longer than us, so I'd imagine he probably did tell you. Well, okay, well, I guess he did. So, I'm sure you may have also heard about our little graduation ceremony coming up. I do little air quotes.
Yeah, she smiles and nods.
Okay. Now, I'm not entirely privy to the information of what this graduation ceremony is. Do you have any information you could tell me? Because from what I've
She
heard,
grins from ear to ear and looks at Urdana, and Urdana like kind of gives her an angry look and shakes her head no. And then you see Kari kind of go like, "Come on, why not?"
please. I say please, because I'm a nice person. Oh, okay. So chances are we are going to be fighting each other. Do you know if Tobias is going to
So
be fighting?
Erdana gets kind of upset and leaves the room.
Oh, Donna, don't go any. Magic, right?
Her sister pissed her off.
Thank you for being honest with me, at least.
She
I
nods.
mean, I have no problem with competition between people in training, but you know, to our knowledge, from what we've learned, it seems like Tobias, if he is going to be against us, he seems to may have struck a deal with the guards to give himself a serious advantage. Not sure if this comes as a surprise to you or not. Ah, well, it certainly gives us a bit more information. I mean, as far as we knew, our friend in the other side of the barracks told us he was a mean person, and that we had to
Trying to
we had
fuck
to be
you
extremely.
over.
And then he was trying to, you know, basically make it hard on us to actually do anything, including you two. So I was, you know, trying to look out for you guys too, because I'm not mean like those people. I'm the only one you can trust.
Oh my gosh. Roll bluff.
Oh god. No. Well, that's not entirely untrue. I mean, Elithis did kind of make him sound like an asshole, which made us all very suspicious.
Well, I rolled a nat 20 on my sense motive, and to me, he was an asshole.
Nah, she believes you.
Well, just barely.
That's funny, actually.
Oh, also, did you know that there's a really cool library here?
Yeah, she says that she writes that she spent some time there.
Okay. Because I have the feeling that knowledge would be power for her too.
Yup.
Because, you know, learning is half the battle of magic. Well, now we know that we're
But
going
she
to be
does.
fighting
She
each other.
writes to you that she and her sister have an affinity for learning, and they know a lot of things that aren't in the books for some reason.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to do book learning. I did learn some very cool things about poisons today, though. Probably shouldn't have mentioned that out loud. That sounded very creepy, I'm sure. I am just going to retire to my bunk, pretend that I don't exist.
So, but before you walk away, she hands you a book.
Oh, all
And
right.
she writes on her note that she found this in the civilian district, and she thinks it's important. But that her and her
Thank you.
sister probably won't have time to pursue it.
Okay. Well, thank you. And say, you know, sorry for making your sister mad.
Attaboy.
Gotta get in good with the family.
That's right. Oh,
Moving
there
on
it
here.
is. Let me put that in player inventories.
Oh yeah, I'll put that in my backpack.
One of the first things you notice when you're walking back to your bunk with the book is that it's heavily stained in very old blood.
Oh. I may have been given murder evidence, guys, as I walk in the room.
Oh, do you tell everyone that you have it? Okay, cool.
Well, I'd imagine so. It said pursue, and everyone in this room, barring the fucking vampire in the corner, I pretty much trust with my life.
Ooh,
Yeah, have
that's
fun.
pretty good.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Make
This
sure you
is.
don't get any AIDS or STDs or anything from that.
I'm a bird now. If this is human blood, I don't think I have to worry about it. Unless, oh god, no. Avian flu!
I arrived in Sudarain this night, 2 days after
Please
my
tell me you're
departure.
not going to read all 9
No,
entries.
it's too much.
I can do it.
9 entries of what?
The
Of
journal
the bloody
entry.
journal. Scroll
Yep.
down, you can read it.
My journey from Nordmark has been uneventful. The weather certainly favored travel. I can only hope that the remainder of my journey goes as smoothly. 2. A man approached me this evening
Oh
with
my
a
God,
proposition
please,
to map the
please.
northern coast.
It's like popcorn reading in kindergarten and all that good grade school
Oh,
stuff.
my Lanta.
I actually was the only one who ever got to hold the reading bear, because I was the nerd. Nobody liked reading in my school. Go figure. Backwoods schools don't like reading.
You guys had reading in your schools?
Oh, hell yeah.
No.
Oh, way to make me feel alienated.
I'm just
Should
kidding.
just go home. Oh wait, I am home. Ettins and trolls.
Investigating
Oh.
Greliku's lead on Raven Hill, and I can afford no delays. If his text is not the only copy, I shudder to think who else might seek the device.
Did I just see something
Ooh.
disappear from the bloody journal?
There was a like horizontal rule that was cutting off the middle of a sentence. It shouldn't have been there.
Okay, I was like, why did the journal change?
I say we should go to Ravenhill. It says Ravenhill a lot in this.
Well,
Yeah.
he's clearly there's some kind of lead on some kind of magical device there that this traveler is afraid will get into the wrong hands, and I'm gonna assume that this person was murdered because
In
their book
quotations,
is covered
there's
in
an.
blood.
Yeah, this person was probably murdered. It's safe to say. But I'm noticing the words here: accidental god. That is. There
That's
is a
awesome.
god that is an accident. What do I have that knowledge? It's the drinking god, right?
Yeah, you would be familiar with it from Thomas because he wouldn't stop talking about it.
Oh yeah, probably. So yeah, there's apparently has such carelessly made named a road after it. Huh. Neat. Apparently there's roads after gods.
Yeah, Caden's
So
way.
can we have the oh Caden, right. Can we have the druid roll on Ettins and trolls? Because they sound scary.
All right, well, we can do that, but I also wanted to see if we can find out anything about Gosonio Idake, the
Yeah.
mercenary who this person was hired to travel with him, but also that he didn't trust and possibly killed him.
Yeah.
Maybe the general would be a
Greliku?
person to ask about
Greliku?
this, because he seems to know a lot of these people.
Maybe.
Who's this? The
The
general?
guy, yeah.
Well, I mean, we already came to him with something else, and I'd imagine this is probably pretty important. And maybe these two mute ladies are probably a little intimidated by a 7.5 foot tall man in full armor who's a general. Meanwhile, we just walked up to his ass
Yep.
because, intrigue. Well, this is certainly suspicious, and I believe if I was found holding this by an actual guard, questions would probably be risen. Mostly about the blood.
So where did they get it, or where did we get this?
She said she got it from the civilian district.
Yeah, but how?
Well,
we ask
she
that?
wrote she got it from the. Well, I didn't really have time. I was a bit embarrassed, so I wandered off.
Say no more. I understand completely.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a lead. We should probably copy down important names and notes, but we probably
Perhaps-
should give this to.
Perhaps this
face?
device is some sort of focusing lens or key. Greliklu. God damn, that dude's name is just a mishmash. It looks like somebody just face rolled the keyboard.
Can I
Greliklu
get
seems to
that
be
brought up again? I
eluding a
can't find.
group of elves who came for the stone for this purpose, but were unable to find it, or the Kulain stopped them from taking it. Perhaps that is cause for celebration. There will surely be no elves on my journey, but if not them, who is after it? We're about a day from Creston now, and the pass is darkened heavily by the mountains on either side. Nearly escaped an Etten. Found a cave to go south through the mountains. And perhaps this will function as a shortcut to Raven Hill.
Well, if they're coming south, he said
Yeah.
Nordmar. Nordmar's in the north, obviously, where Thomas came from. We talked to him about that place. Yeah.
And Creston's actually the unlabeled thing in the mountains.
Okay. So
I
that
missed
little
that one.
line, that little dotted line may or may not have been the path south.
Yeah, they're what they think is the path. Yeah.
Okay. So how did it get here from Raven Hill? I mean, like,
Good
obviously
question.
it got here. So whoever it
Yeah.
is who last possessed the book besides these two, and I personally don't have any reason to think that these two girls have any murderous intent. I mean, it
Alright,
would be
so
burned if it was.
Grelche, he killed the guy. The guy literally states in it, but I fear Grelche may have been losing his mind near the end of his studies. So I think it's safe to say that this Grelch,
Greliclu, you've been
mercenary
saying it
dude-
right.
Okay, Greliclu killed this guy.
No, because his companion is Gassanio. Well, it was his companion in quotes. Gassanio is the guy that's leading him around, and Greliclu seems to be somebody that he's studying a book from, or maybe the person who sent him to go to Ravenhill.
Okay. So he's the Cindius Signius. Okay.
More or less, yeah. He's basically what this is describing is that he's got a text from this guy named Greliclu who was studying something that he found at Ravenhill a very, very long time ago.
Okay. And like by the end of his studies, it seems like he's having weird, mad ramblings.
Yeah.
Well, judging by the texts of the things that their guide has been telling them is following them, it's probably safe to assume that either the guide killed them, which is probably a pretty good explanation considering the journal is here and not in the stomach of a troll. I mean, the blood may have originally came from somebody who was killed by a troll, but the fact that the book is here shows that something that actually is human, or or at least appears to be human, is got to here.
And do keep in
somehow.
mind, like, you have no
Take
idea
the book.
how old this book is either.
Does
people
any
don't
of this
sign and
blood
date
look
it?
fresh?
Ah, fair enough.
No, it's very old.
So this could have come from. So yeah, this notebook could have been hundreds of years old that this happened. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this happened recently.
But this still does explain that there's very good cause to believe that there's something of power at Ravenhill, or the place known as
Yes.
Ravenhill.
A
Yeah.
magical device, which shall be mine.
All right, well, I could go down into the civilian district. I mean, that's where they found it, but I have the feeling they probably
Or
did some snooping on their own.
our ladies. who
I
found the
have
book.
already pissed them off. If you, well, one of them. If you want to talk to the nice one, she's
I
still
go
in there.
over.
Okay.
And I can I take the book?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
I take the book and I go over and I walk over to the old lady and I'm like, hi there.
Whoa.
I'm sorry about my what?
Nothing. My roll 20 freaked out on me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I attempt to
Uh,
shyly hide around the corner.
I'm like, hi there. I know my my friend can be a bit uncouth at times, but I was wondering if you could tell me any more about where you got this book. Fuck.
What is this roll for? Oh, lol. She gets her pen and she, instead of typing this out, I'll just write it. I'll just say it.
Okay.
So she tells you that she met a pretty wealthy man in the civilian district who has his own library, which he shouldn't, because one of the things that the civilians were required to do when showing up is like turn over all their books to the library. And this guy like smuggled all of his in. And this was a book that she took particular interest to because it mentioned the magical device.
Oh. Well,
She
hold on.
actually bought it off of him and told him that she would look for it because he acquired it from some like street merchant who just had random stuff.
I
I
asked.
see.
I walk into the room and quickly ask, "How much did you actually pay for this?"
Tree fitty.
Yeah, about tree fitty.
Bad tree
And
fitty.
about that time, I realized that this mute little girl wasn't a mute little girl at all. She was actually a 300-foot tall monster from the Cretaceous period.
Oh my gosh. She writes down that she spent about 30 gold on it.
I could at least give her half. She did give us a lead on intrigue and stuff. I don't know.
She says she writes down that that won't be necessary. that she has a kind of like ominous feeling that something bad is going to happen to her. So that's why she's giving the book to you. It was actually Urdana's idea to give you the book.
Oh, well, I mean, she's a lot nicer than she seems then. But what do you mean something terrible is going to happen to you?
She writes that she's not really sure. She just has sort of a weird feeling. She doesn't have any reason to really to think that, but it's sort of just there, an ominous, overbearing feeling.
Could I do a little white lie and try to tell her everything's all right after we heard about all those weird clone meltings, possibly?
Yeah, you
I'm
can
sure
try to.
everything will be fine. I say it with as stiff of a face as possible, as to not show my intent.
That's such a shitty bluff. She doesn't really look like she believes you, and she just kind of like gives like a half smile, like thanks for trying.
The heart's in the right place, damn it, but the skill rolls are awful. Who dat?
Hi, the moon.
It's the Demoons.
What's up, buddy?
This is someone I have not talked to yet.
So I'm gonna
Hello.
presume that you guys go to bed.
Well, he's sick, so the only way I can talk to him is through this.
You're in the same house.
Oh, I
Is
thought
this
you meant
your
me. I'm
your
like,
new
I'm not sick
intercom?
anymore.
You are sick, but in a different way.
Yep. This is how we communicate now. We have to get in Mumble.
So in the morning when they wake you guys up, they lead you into the stables, and they finally take you down one of these little cavernous paths that you saw earlier.
These thingies?
Mm-hmm. And like you suspected in the beginning, they do indeed lead underground, and you find yourself in the midst of a great big network of tunnels and large rooms, and there's a whole side of Sylvanas that you haven't seen before. You can hear very clearly what sounds like a running river, like very, very loudly on your left, and there's not really. There's a couple doors that lead into there, but not very many. And your guide tells you that you should probably avoid going in there because it's the water supply, and people are really strict about that.
I may or may not have been looking up ingestive poisons.
Yeah.
They don't know that, though.
So when they lead you in there, there's a few rooms that they stop by. There's 3 of them. And we'll just move over to that map. Should be black for everyone, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So the General and Tobias are both here. So let me get their tokens.
Can I see the room?
They haven't let you in yet, but you see the General and Tobias both go through another door that looks like it might lead onto like a staircase. So maybe there's like a viewing deck.
I think that guy's gonna fuck us.
He's gonna fuck us.
Not the good way, doll.
Oh, damn it.
Doll. Calls you doll.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see now?
'Cause your
That's what
name is
Darp called
Doll.
me.
Oh, there you go. Never
Yeah, I'm
mind.
seeing it.
Sweet.
Those don't look like giant stones. Those just look like dudes.
And if you look carefully on your left, you can see that the General and Tobias are both on a platform that sort of overlooks the room. And you find yourself in a pretty large cobblestone room with a
This
pretty
pretty opening.
unnecessary half wall in the middle and like a single little pedestal. Doesn't really seem to serve much purpose.
there is no one in the room, I'd go
Is this you
climb
like
it.
meta, like kind of criticizing this particular texture layout?
No, I laid this out.
Okay. I mean, this great texture layout.
Honestly, like
Nice
map making's
cover.
hard to do, and it's easier if you just have simple textures. Anywho,
Leave it to your imagination.
so the general just sort of nods at you and waves you on. So
I wave back.
there's a group of what look like just 6 foot soldiers standing in uniform formation in front of you, and they look like they're just sort of waiting for you.
I'm gonna, before walking any further. Oh dear.
I'm gonna
I
roll
was gonna look at the.
perception. Wanna
I
see
was
what
gonna
else is
roll
in
to the
this
floor for
place.
traps.
That's actually a
I
good
don't trust
plan.
The floor. Cause like waiting for me to cross what exactly?
You look around and you don't see any pressure plates or like tripwires or anything. So you don't think the room is trapped, and it seems a little unlikely that on your very first trial that they would try to fuck you over that hard. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
My first trial was hell.
Okay.
It was running.
Yes, the worst of hells. Oh right, initiative. These things are important. Hang on. Oh shit, I didn't add the whatever. Well, I need to add. Can I add 2?
What
Because I
else
have
is
the
in
trait. I have that trait that I didn't add. It's on the master sheet. It's the one that gives me a +2 initiative.
Yeah, I can fix that.
Quick on your feet or something.
Reactionary.
What did I, reactionary? That's what it is. I need to put that in my sheet. Where is that? Is that in feats or is that in detail?
Is that everybody that's rolled? Or no, Brumar?
What else is in the room? I just rolled perception. Want more details?
The ceiling looks really high, which seems odd since you're underground. So maybe it's just really dark stone,
Ooh,
or
I'll roll engineering then. Wait, is that it?
yeah, or dungeoneering would work too, depending on what you're trying to learn.
Guys, enjoy your game.
Thanks, man.
Damn, I
Can
cannot
do.
roll today.
So, Zuzu, I'm not sure if you've been told.
Mm-hmm.
My other trait that I have is favored son. That means I am the better sibling.
What?
It's
That's
in my
bullshit.
trait.
It's in your trait.
Yeah,
I
he's
have
the
a
favorite now.
bias.
I am the favored son. I get a free innkeeper.
So that means you gotta handle all the money when the parents die?
I already have all the money of everyone in this party. It's been sitting in my
Yep.
back. I'm not going to say that out loud.
Anywho,
Well, alright, favored son. Make sure you do
lol,
oh, that sucks. Do yourself proud.
Xanthem. You think that the ceiling is probably made of a very large thing that probably has gears and motors in it that makes the ceiling
Shit.
move.
Whatever.
And what do I know?
Wow.
Ooh, another 20.
You know that the
Great.
floor is perfectly flat and not slanted in any way. You know that there's no danger of the roof caving in because it's almost entirely granite.
So
But
if
if
you
it
set a
did cave
fire,
in,
it
sweet
wouldn't
Lord, would we
spread.
be dead?
Yeah, if it caved in, you know that it would come down in one piece. If the ceiling's coming down,
And-
it's the whole thing at once.
Yeah, no,
Throw a
everyone in
bomb
this
at it.
room would be so dead. Oh,
Throw
wait,
all
I
my
have escape artist. There's a chance.
So, all right, meta. They're giving you a chance to buff up. If there's anything you want to do
Oh.
now's the time.
What do you
I
mean
attempt
buff
to
up?
tell a joke. Wait, don't I have a potion?
I know somebody that has a mutagen, but they need to decide if they want to drink that
Mm.
now or later.
Or if they wouldn't drink it at all, because it detracts from their intelligence or wisdom or
True.
whatever.
But if you lose that int, it doesn't change the number of spells that you have available or
Can
any of the other stuff. That's yeah.
I put on my gloves.
We've been given absolutely no idea of what's about to happen here. I wave at the general real quick and say, "Are there any rules to this combat?"
He nods and shouts down that you should avoid killing anyone.
So no headshots
Okay.
or heart shots, but we can do like
Well, like
groin shots.
meta, basically, like you can knock people out, but no coup de grace. Like if somebody accidentally
Okay.
dies, that's okay.
Okay.
But no on purpose.
Aw, these
No
poor guys.
intentional murder.
Their
No.
their job is to get the shit kicked out of them or get shit kicked out of some kids.
Yeah, they're red
Okay,
shirts.
Hey, Zuzu.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my climber's kit, and I'm gonna attempt to try to make it land on that overhang over there and get her up there.
Oh.
For the fight.
I like that.
I'm
So can
gonna
I use
bump
my
up my
skill
dexterity.
climb?
Sorry.
What
Okay, you drinking a
Nice.
mutagen then?
Or-
Yes.
I use my skill climb to throw the hook.
You could
Ooh,
also
should I
buff
do
up like
climb also?
shield or something if you feel that you need it for this fight, which hint you don't.
I won't use shield,
Good plan.
but I also draw my bow.
Attaboy. Alright.
Anyone want a crossbow? Oh, Elithis, take this crossbow. And all these arrows.
Good. Wait,
Well,
I've got
I
my
mean-
sling.
You're gonna have to give me a dex check to throw that rope. And then once
Not
you
the climb?
No, because climbing would be climbing
Ah,
the
damn
rope.
it.
That's
No,
pretty damn
well,
good.
Just as good.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
you land it for sure.
Quick, get up there, Zoo.
So they
Alright,
see you
okay.
throw that though, and they start advancing.
So I would
No, wait,
get
it was a
climb,
You
right?
mother.
Wait, shouldn't I do?
Yeah, I'll let
stealth?
Zuzu start to climb it, but then we're gonna start combat.
But I have really good climb.
Go for it then. Roll a
Plus
climb.
1.
Yeah, that's incredible. You're so good. I love you.
Just, pull
Well,
up the
she's
rope
got
when you
climb
get up
and
there.
she's got okay strength, I assume.
This is why you keep
Okay,
mundane
so
items
I
right here,
earned a
people.
+1 during our workout on climb.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yes, that
do I
applies.
just press the button and then you just add one, or
Yep.
was it already added?
That'd be fine. Yep, do that.
I thought you already had points in climb.
She does,
Like
but
before the
the
event.
endurance training from the other day.
Well, yeah, but whatever. Oh,
So
pass.
20. Yep, you make it up.
Yeah.
And now it's
Awesome.
Carrick's turn.
Yep. They see me, don't they?
Yes, they do.
But you can still do it.
Oh, I'm not gonna
Right?
climb up there. I'm a
No.
melee fighter. I mean, I
Oh,
could
that's
have a
right.
crossbow up there and just shoot people. Can
I
I use
mean-
that as a sneak attack?
I would assume that
You
if
cannot.
anyone else wanted to go up there, it would be Psychomera, because he can throw
Yeah.
bombs and also shoot from up there.
Well, it's
I'm gonna
there,
do
but
that.
if they start climbing up it, kick down the rope, Zoo. I say that. Because, don't want those guys getting up there and mushing you.
Right. Someone will catch me, right, when I fall?
The floor is pretty friendly.
Thanks. Not.
Alright, let's see
No
if I can actually climb.
Guys,
That was my turn.
we're in combat order now.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
But
attack.
I'll hold on to that roll for you. That's
I'll-
fine.
Okay.
I'll attempt to stealth.
No, they see you.
No,
No.
I kind of figured,
Just
considering
staring right at you.
I mean,
Oh,
if you
drops to the ground.
and I will say the only way you can get sneak attacks with a ranged weapon is if you catch the person flat-footed, because ranged weapons are not capable of flanking. That's why you can't get sneak attacks with them usually.
I started what? I was right here, so if I move to here, it'll put me in a. I will hold my attack action for a possible advancement.
Okay, so you're readying an action.
I'm readying for combat, like I have my
Okay,
weapons.
So
up.
you need to specify what event will occur when that will trigger your ready
will-
action. Will somebody
Okay,
enter your melee range? Will somebody
If somebody enters the melee range to where I can attack them, or because I can't hide, so I'm not going to get the
Right.
first sneak attack. I need to get flanks, but unfortunately, they outnumber us, so
Right.
it kind
Okay.
of comes down to me having to try to get positioning.
So you're holding
I'll
an
just try to do an
action
attack of
for if
opportunity
somebody
then.
walks up to you. Cool.
Psst, bomb thrower, throw a fucking bomb. They're
That seems a,
grouped.
that seems a little extreme for the situation, but I can certainly
'em.
do that.
Oh,
And now your ready to action triggers.
okay, so I guess I will attack with both my short swords.
Yep.
Oh, what's going on? Oh, because I have it on the. Doesn't let me select.
Both hit. And he falls to the ground.
So 10 damage.
Nicely done.
I say I'm sorry. Didn't want to kill these people.
He's not dead.
I know
He's
he's
just-
not dead.
Incapacitated.
I just,
Unconscious.
can I at least can I at least roll him on his side so he doesn't choke on his blood if I make him bleed?
Oh, how thoughtful.
These guys are just doing a job.
Yeah, pretty much.
If this guy was an
Sucks to
assassin
suck.
sent to kill me,
Sucks
I would
to
fucking
suck.
obliterate him.
Sucks.
Whatever.
It's Xanthem, it's your turn.
Yeah, okay, so if I'm up there, how far am I? Like, how high am I?
Oh,
Does
you
that
up on the
count as my
platform?
distance? Because I climbed the rope.
Right. They're all
Right.
within. I mean, your longbow's got a 100-foot range. You just won't have point blank shot.
Okay, that's fine.
You
And I
get
probably
everybody.
don't want to do deadly aim
Draw
because
them over here.
draw them over here, so like shoot at their feet and make them come closer.
No, just shoot him in the face.
Just shoot him in the face.
I
Just
mean,
end this
I'm
combat as quick
They're
as you guys
wearing
can, because
armor.
there's harder ones to come, and we should just get through this. I
Oh.
promise.
Okay, so I'll just do a regular longbow, no deadly aim.
You could do rapid shot if you wanted. Okay.
Oops.
That's gonna miss.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Right, deadly aim.
Deadly aim makes her aim worse, actually. It's
That is then that
More
is not what
damage.
deadly aim.
well, it's more damage.
No.
But
Is,
I don't
is it
want
a
to do
feat
deadly
for
aim because
elevation
won't that
bonuses?
kill them? Because it's deadly.
That's a good point. But like, quick question: doesn't she get a bonus for high ground, or is that a feat?
Actually, he's gonna hold action. Yeah, he holds action. Elithus.
Drop a bear.
No. I'm gonna drop a bear for this.
Drop the
I'm gonna
barrel.
do something even cooler.
Drop the bear.
That's the bear song.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to cast Stone Call.
Oh my god.
You did not do what I think you just did.
Well, this is over.
Yes.
Now, if I'm correct, they can't dodge that, right?
We'll see.
What do I roll for that? Okay.
What's your spell say?
Range 100 feet plus 10 feet for level area, cylinder 40-foot radius, 20 feet high. Duration 1 round
Jesus.
per level. Rain of dirt, gravel, and small pebbles fills the area, dealing 2d6 points of bludgeoning damage to every creature in the area. Damage occurs once when the spell is cast.
And there's no saving throw because it's fucking rocks falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Everyone's just gonna be like, ah!
They all
Okay.
take 40. Yeah.
They all get smacked in
Is
the head
everyone-
or the shoulders or something. I mean, they're hurting.
Is everyone in this room very concerned that the rocks
Okay,
slam
so
the granite?
So the thing is, over its radius, so like 40 feet from this point, all that area is now
Difficult
difficult
terrain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it slows.
So they
things
have to
movement.
navigate it.
What poor suckers.
It's the nice part about it.
They can trip
Um,
and fall, can't they?
Ah,
They're
that's
dead.
perfect.
That's the
Dead.
roof. The roof just like.
Is that accurate?
Boom.
I think so.
Okay, close enough.
Close
I
enough.
could just imagine.
I think it was like
solid
one more
piece.
down. One more left
Yeah.
down.
I
Yeah.
can imagine just a single humongous solid piece of the ceiling just
Jesus,
comes down and
difficult
kills all of
terrain.
them.
You fucking dick.
Is that what you meant by rocks, Tobias?
Jesus.
Well, these will go away after combat. so-
They go around. Actually, it'll go away after 4 rounds because you're level 4.
Correct. So I mean, if combat lasts for.
Yep.
I'm in the difficult terrain.
It is the alchemist's turn.
Okay, so I can move and throw,
Yep.
right? I can only move like half the distance. Is that the rule?
No, you can take 1 move action and 1 standard, and I
Gotcha.
think rapid shot would require. No, I don't know.
Rusty Bombu!
Is rapid shot a full round action?
I don't know.
I feel like it should be.
Who else is
Yeah,
a quick runner
Yep.
with
Okay.
me?
So the thing is, you can move and throw 1 bomb, or you can
Right.
5-foot step and throw 2.
Yeah, but I won't be able to hit him with a 5-foot step because it's 20-foot range.
Ah, fair enough.
So I do a full run and chuck a bomb. There.
That's a good place.
And I do that by doing this.
God damn.
Yep.
Nicely done.
Splash is 5 foot, right?
Yeah, all 3 of those guys are down.
Nice.
Sit down.
Veliki!
All right.
And when that happens, the other 2 surrender because they're like, okay, all right, I don't want to burn to death.
I throw a bomb anyway.
Ah!
Rude.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Let me see
I'm
something
gonna-
here.
I'm
What's
waste
this
the
guy's
bomb,
con
but-
score? Okay, you hit him for 15. He's got that much health. He got hit with
previously
splash
taken.
damage too. Yeah, the guy in the middle's dead. Like dead.
Oh
Well,
no.
Shouldn't have volunteered
Okay, I'm gonna run up and
Mm-hmm.
pick this guy up here and try to pull him out of the rubble.
Why? No one asked you to. You're too kind.
These guys are just doing a Sunday job.
Oh,
So,
Murdered by unknown amounts of magic.
The general says,
I
"Well
dropped
done,"
my
from up on
meat.
the platform, and a group of people
I
come
suck
in
at this.
and start dragging people out, and they have like the little what do you fucking call them that you carry injured people on?
Oh, a gurnick.
Gurneys,
Yeah, that's the word.
Gurnick.
tell them I said I'm sorry.
We pray the gods for you. Or the god. Nethys.
Nethys is the god of death.
Oh.
No, he's not.
Oh, that's Urgathoa.
Wrong again.
It's a god of death. Undeath.
Yeah,
FYI, I'm pretty much.
Pharasma.
I'm getting super tired. At this
yeah.
point.
I think we're
It's
gonna
like-
wrap it up here.
Can
Okay.
I quickly ask something to the dude before he leaves the room? Like the guy who isn't dead?
Sure.
Did you expect that?
He says yes. We pretty much knew we were gonna get our asses kicked.
Sorry.
Not.
It's
We did it.
okay. I just called down huge amounts of gravel from thin air.
And I blew your fucking
Breathe out
people
the
up.
pain. Just a fucking. Like, I have the feeling if I was in a giant stone, fucking granite, solid room and rocks started falling, I'd be like, oh shit, it's time to go. Because, like I'd be very.
Well, but the thing
concerned.
is, because of the spell, like the rocks didn't come from the ceiling; they just like appear in midair and fall.
Yeah, they appear 20 feet up and start falling. Granted, we can't
Can
see
I-
more than like a certain distance up because we think the ceiling is, pitch black.
The ceiling's pretty
So,
high, but in this particular room, it's very well lit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk
Still.
over to Cycle and try to very calmly explain to him he just murdered a man.
The funny thing is, you think
And you
that
laugh.
affects him.
I'm also going to take note he laughed and very slowly back away towards Brumar, who is now seeming the very saner person of the group. He slept with a corpse on him.
Brumar is picking his nose.
He
Yeah.
didn't even know
Nice.
there was a fight.
Oh, right. Zeus stuck on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to climb down here. He didn't kick down the grappling hook.
No, I
Well,
didn't kick it
once
down.
they carry people out on gurneys, they lead in the next group.
Yeah, I'm content being up here.
So I'll put their tokens down, and then we'll wrap it up there. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds
Wait.
good.
I'm going to hide here.
Gotta roll stealth or something.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm going to hide at the middle of the half point wall and just hide. They pop up behind me. I'm like, shit. This isn't good at all.
Well, that
I mean,
can't
unless
be
we're supposed to have a
right.
starting. Unless we're supposed to have a starting position or something. Unless it's supposed to be just some sort of wave survival thing.
It's like endurance training.
Oh, that's
No,
interesting.
Not like endurance training. Because if it's anything like endurance training, it's going to be very bad for me.
Hmm.
Huh. I have this written down as a CR4, but when I put them in, they're a CR11, and that is not something
Oh.
you should fight.
No, please no. What the hell is it?
I don't want to tell you that.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's not right at all.
Do your magic.
Because, well, it's a captain and two footmen. But the captain is
The
not
captain
supposed to
is
be a
11.
level 9 fighter. Like, that's not supposed to be a thing. Huh. I'm gonna have to relook him up, but
Yeah.
I'll bring the tokens in.
No, he's so tiny. Oh,
Oh,
it's a no.
Actually, we'll
that's the
go.
librarian.
I'll bring a white guard in on this one to represent the captain.
Oh, I thought you meant the white guard is in the white WIGHT. I was like, no.
Hmm.
Wait a minute, is that the guy who was at the gate?
Same armor.
Damn that man and his anonymity. That's the word, right? Anonymity?
Mm-hmm.
Sea anemone.
I mean, I guess. We are sea people. Is that what we call it underwater?
Huh. I don't really know where that
I'd
went.
imagine we could take a level 6 fighter. A level 9 fighter starts getting some crazy stuff. Like he could have whirlwind attack. He could just jump in between everybody and go dead, 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 dead. Like if he was right here, he could attack Cyclemera, Elithus, and Brumar in the same turn with a full attack. Oh god.
Oh wow, they actually had names the last time I did this. That's funny. The footmen had names. Oh man.
Good memories.
Bob and Tom. Does anyone here actually listen to Bob and Tom show?
Nope.
Aw, they're fun.
Oh, there we go. There's my CR2 captain. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll have to fix that for next time. Well, I think you guys did better on role-playing tonight, and I'm happy about that, because I've been wanting to kind of nudge you more towards that. I know that you guys are pretty new to the game, so I'm trying to ease you into it, but I'd like to try to get away from some of the, I mean, the silly banter is okay, but we need to be careful to distinguish it from actual in-game character conversations, because it can get confusing.
You could just do the house rule that everything you say while in presence of NPCs is just immediately what your character says. So you could just, if you're a blabbermouth, you could just be like, it's like, wait, didn't we kill that guy? Oh shit.
I don't think I want to be quite that harsh right at this point, but maybe like mid-game I might look at doing something like that, but I don't want to make it like unfun. Because
Well,
I think the silly banter is fun. I enjoy it.
I like the silly banter, but like I'm not the one to be like, "Hooray, glorious combat with my mighty sword!" I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
I just like the fun.
Yep.
Softcore, not hardcore.
Well,
No,
I mean,
definitely
in this
hardcore.
aspect.